Hey everybody, Chelsea here, and today I'm going to show you how to fix your messed up wildlife pictures using Lightroom. So I spoke to my peeps in our Lightroom 5 book group. If you know about us, you know about our book. We talk about it nonstop. I went to them and I said, hey guys, what would you want? Would you rather that I edit a really perfect, beautiful wildlife picture, because you do get some flack if you don't do that, or do you want to see real pictures with real mistakes? And those kind folks told me they wanted some real pictures, they wanted to see some mistakes, so here I bring to you my mediocre picture full of mistakes. First of all, the subject is underexposed, right? It's dark, the composition leaves a lot to be desired, and the sky is blown out, there's like chromatic aberration, the picture is a mess. So let's start by cropping it down and we'll work from there. So first I'll go to my crop tool, and I like my wildlife pictures to be cropped very tight because I think people want to see the animal, unless the surroundings are really beautiful. And let's see here, put his eye in about the upper third. I'm not so worried about cropping out the fish. Let's see how that looks. I think I can go a little tighter. Very simple, but I like that it's close and it shows some detail. Let me experiment and go a little bit tighter just to see. I like that. Okay, so next I have to make sure that our subject is properly exposed. So I'll bring up the shadows, and I'm not going to bring up the exposure because I'll also be lightening the background, which I don't want to do because I want to recover the blue in the sky next. And I think that raising the shadows would be a better idea for that. So I'll raise the shadows quite a bit. And it looks good. He's not overexposed. You can still see the feather detail. Our fish looks great here. Okay. And next I'll go into the colors panel here and select the blue. Ooh. And lower the luminance. If you go too far, then you get this funky glow around your subject. It also looks really fake. You don't want to overdo it. I'm also going to warm up my subject to make it look like I went out during the golden hour, which I did not. But that means that I'm going to just put the blue sky a little bit towards the turquoise side so it looks a little bit warm. If I were to warm up the temperature of the photo here, it washes out the background. So instead, what you want to do is select your adjustment brush and go to temp and then select your subject. I'm going to press O, and that will show you our mask. I'm going to go in here and zoom in 2:1 to get really nice and close and make sure that I've selected my subject properly. Ooh. And you want to select the fish too. He's a part of it. Okay, now press O again to get rid of your mask. and you can see that it looks a little bit warmer, and you went and you took that crummy light and you made it into something beautiful. It does look like the golden hour. Let's see, try to warm it up just a little more, and then I'll select new, and this makes a new adjustment brush. And I'm also going to select the stick because that's a part of it too, but sometimes, you know, the bird has white on it and sometimes that will look even more orange if you try to raise the levels too much. The stick is darker, so it may be a little more resistant to changing the temperature. I'm going to select this layer again and try raising the saturation a little bit. Okay, and then next I'll select another adjustment brush and I'm going to bring out his eyes. So let me zoom in again, 2:1. If your mask color is not showing up, you can press Shift and O and it will change it. I raised the highlights a little bit and the sharpness. I'm going to select a new brush and go over the same part of the eye. Let me show you what I'm doing here. And some of the beak. And bring up the sharpness. Not too much or else it gets very grainy. And let's just see a before and after just to make sure we're going in the right direction. That's not a before and after. It doesn't show some of the edits. Okay. Next, I'm going to bring out the sharpness of the feathers a bit. I'll select the adjustment brush again. I'm all about selecting a bunch of adjustment brushes and just making little adjustments at a time. Why? So I don't go overboard, so I can go back and adjust one section at a time. I want to just bring up the sharpness a little bit. Let's zoom in again very close and make sure that we're not making any destructive edits. We don't want to create too much noise. See, that is too noisy. It looks very artificial. Okay. I think that the fish is an important part of the story, so I'm going to give him a little bit of attention too. I'm going to go to clarity. I'm going to put the clarity down because that can tend to darken it up. I'm going to bring up his exposure a little bit and his shadows, brighten up the fish. A little more saturation because I like his colors. And the sharpness. Play with the highlights, make him look a little shinier. Let's see. There's a before and after. That looks much better. I'm going to bring out the fish's eye a little too. So another thing that I'd like to show you that I don't think is necessarily needed in this picture, but I think it's a common problem, is how to reduce noise. You get a lot of noise in primary colors, so if you have very blurred green leaves in the background, there's a good chance that there's a lot of noise. If you have a very blue sky that you didn't have to darken like I did, there's a good chance you have a lot of noise. In this picture, the noise, you can see it's in the shadows. Let's go in 2:1. And I'll show you, you can see the underside of this branch. It's out of focus, but it's noisy. And the feathers have a bit of noise too. I'll show you how to do it on the branch. I don't know that it will make a huge difference in this photo, but if you need it for your background, then it's really necessary. And that's a problem we see with a lot of wildlife pictures that we get. It's a lot of shadow noise or primary color noise. So, again, your adjustment brush. And we'll go to noise, and let's select this brush, this branch. It's really hard to see the noise in this example because the branch has a lot of texture, but either way, I'll be teaching you a useful method. So here's the original. You can put the noise all the way up and it gets too smooth. You can put a little bit, about 20, 25, and it's more realistic. I'm going to show you on some feathers. Maybe that will be a better example. So that is how you reduce the noise in your picture if you have that problem. Otherwise, good for you. Luckily, this picture wasn't too noisy. That's not really one of the problems that I had. One problem that I do have in this picture is a bit of chromatic aberration. You can see it right here. You can go down to the bottom and go to lens correction and color and remove chromatic aberration, and usually automatically it does a good job. If it doesn't, you can select these colors under defringe and even use the dropper tool and it will take care of it for you. So let me see if I have any other chromatic aberration other than on the stick. You just see the before and after again. I just want to see if I could make it even sunnier. Okay, I think I can. Okay, so I think we're just about finished. We took that blown out looking sky and we put some blue back into it. We took care of the chromatic aberration, brought out this beautiful creature's eyes, and brought up the exposure on the osprey because it looked too dark. Let's see the before and after as it is. It's a huge improvement. This isn't even including the crop. And it took a really boring blob picture to something that's a little more pleasing to look at. Not the greatest, but still much better than before. I think we could even tweak it a little bit more and bring out those warm colors on the osprey to get more of that golden hour look. So let's try. So you reselect your pin and it will show you that layer. Come on now, don't make a liar of me. There we go, that's the wrong one. This is the correct one, even though it's not showing me. And let's bring up the temperature. So this is the layer where I added that warm light. All right, so let me take my mask off and warm it up just a little bit more. Maybe even bring up the saturation a little bit. Oh, I'll dial it back. That looks a little bit artificial. Okay. There's the before and after, and I'm pretty pleased with the results. I'll have more videos. I'm gonna do one with noise next time because I feel like I couldn't give you a great example. If you have more suggestions, you can put them in the comments. If you're in our Lightroom 5 book group, always share your suggestions because I really like to do what you guys want to do. And thank you so much for watching.